Well, hello, class, and welcome to Self and Social Identity and Christianity from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson, and I want to welcome you to week 2. We have completed week 1 of a 8-week trip, 8-week journey, adventure, right? I'm looking out the window. We got 5 inches of snow here. It's 0 degrees, and the kids had school. This is just how we do it up here, right? For those of us who are in this kind of climate, you know that. Friends of mine in Tennessee and Texas, they canceled school. It didn't even snow, so they have a day off of school. So I just wanted to welcome you to week 2. Week 1 went fantastic. Thank you so much for your discussion boards. Good discussions, really encouraging discussions, and that really actually is what I want most out of the discussion boards. So you did an identity wheel, and you really kind of dug deeper into what those identities, social identities, how those play out in your life, how they combine, how they interact, how people see you, and the discussions were fantastic about that. And then you did a paper about social identity that you were finding resources and finding ways in which it's applied. So I wanted to tell you that I have 2 classes right now, and what I'll do is on Tuesday I grade one class, and on Wednesday I grade the next. So today I will grade your class, and then I'll grade the other class tomorrow, and then next week I'll flip it. So hopefully most of the time I will have your papers back to you by Thursday, if not at the very latest Friday morning, but usually I try to have them back by Thursday, if not earlier. So just a couple of things about the discussion boards. Make sure that you're not waiting to the last second, and the last second is Monday night, especially if you're going to post and ask a question, because it's not fair to the student because he or she may not check that. And if I ask you a question, your fearless leader, please answer it. That's important to me. Okay? So, and I still have my cold. Sorry. All right. Also, I put a question in the Global Cafe. I would like to know your classification. I'm doing a spreadsheet to pray for you guys. And all you have to do is tell me whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or graduating senior. And that would really help me with that. Okay? All right, week 2. You're going to discuss the theological goals of the Christian life, and you're going to articulate your personal theological and non-theological goals. Goal statements. There it goes. Okay. So your required reading your required reading, slow down, Jefferson. Your required reading is from Hauerwas, and you're going to actually walk through this really cool article about Watership Down. And if you've never read Watership Down, it's about rabbits and going to different warrens and how he used that story for a social political statement. And Hauerwas kind of goes through that and talks about the power of narrative, the power of story. And we are a people of story, right? We're the people of the book, and the book is a story. So we're guided by those narratives. So it was a fantastic read. I really enjoyed that. Maybe want to read Watership Down, which I've not yet. And then you're going to be reading Adams, Bell, and Griffin, and they're going to be talking about privilege, racism, classism, sexism, privilege, how it's systemic, how it's institutionalized, and how we, people inside the bubble, like if you ask a fish what water is, he doesn't know, right? Because it's just what he lives in. We live in a very privileged position in the United States, and many of us, because of our skin color and because of our education and because of other things, we have a lot of privileges. But how do we, who are inside the bubble, change things? And it's a really good article, and you're going to be actually looking at that when you do your discussion board. And you're going to be asking these questions. How might communities allow us to become men and women conformed to the image of Christ? How might they hinder men and women from becoming more like Christ? To what extent is the church held back from doing its ministry because the individuals within it are not able to fully realize and put into practice their unique gifts? In what ways do you or the organizations in which you are part of actively address issues of systemic or institutional evil? So that's going to be your discussion board, and you take those questions and answer them, and then respond to 2 other students, and let's start talking. I will tell you that I've never taught this class before, but I do teach several other classes similar to this, and we had a really amazing discussion about privilege, white privilege. And several students in our class said there was no such thing. And there were several students of color in our class that said, oh yeah, there is. And it ended up being a really cool discussion. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, you're also going to be doing a Christian identity summary paper, and you're going to use web search engines, and you can use Moody Library as well, and you're going to find several resources with Christian identity. You're going to do a 4-page double-spaced summary of 5 aspects of Christian identity based on your research. And then you're going to provide 5 source bibliography. That can be books and articles, lectures, videos, websites. Make sure to include at least one resource written by an author from a different cultural background than you. Okay? So I would also tell you that in the first week, I always give grace. And I want you to know that if you need to talk to me about anything beforehand and tell me that an assignment's not going to be done in time, that's fine. But after this week, I just want you guys to know that I'll be holding to the Moody policy that if you post your discussion board after midnight on Friday night, it's a 0. And I've had some people say, wow, that's really harsh, and I really don't think it is, because you have all week to do that, and then it wouldn't be fair to the people that have worked all week and got them in on time if we let you guys do it a day, 2 days, 3 days late. And it also helps with getting the discussion underway. So, with that said, I do have a question of the week, I believe. I do. If you could eat a meal with anyone ever in the history of the world, who would it be? If you could eat a meal with anyone, and it can't be Jesus. Okay? Let's just take that out. We're going to eat a meal with him that'll last eternity, and it'll be amazing. But who would you sit down at a coffee shop with if you could pull them, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, pull them out of the past and into our present? Who would you hang out with? Who would you want to meet? And for me, I really think it would be C.S. Lewis. And I'm such a history nerd. I have a lot of people I'd love to meet, but I'll go with C.S. Lewis for the time. Love to sit down and have a conversation with him. So that's it. That's where we're at. I would ask you to pray for a student named Josiah. His family was rocked by some news this week, and his dad has stage 4 cancer. And I just want to encourage you to pray for him. He's in one of my other classes, and he's one of 10 siblings, so he's the oldest, and everyone's looking to him. So if you could pray for Josiah's dad this week. All right, that's it. I have nothing more to say. Onward and upward to week 2. If you have any questions, comments, prayer requests, please let me know, and let's do this.